Hi, I'm going to tell you a Philippine folk tale. It's called Odon the Giant. And it's really a story about how 5 devoted, small friends can overcome a bully. You see, in the deep jungles of the Philippines, there lived a giant named Odon. And what he liked best was to go through the forest, stamping and crashing and smashing everything in his path, including all the little animals that he could barely see and certainly didn't pay any attention to. Everybody in the forest was terrified of Odon. They didn't really know what they could do about it. Every night he would go out and crash and bash and smash until one day a little peekabird, tiny little green bird, she said, "You know, I think if I can find 4 more friends, I have a plan. We could beat Odon." Everyone was ready to listen. She spoke to a mosquito, you know a mosquito, bzzz, and a bed bug, that little tiny bug that if it gets into your bed, it will bite you. And she talked to an eel, that slippery long eel, and a crab, you know, with his pincers. She asked them if they would go with her and see if they could defeat Odon. They all agreed. They got into a coconut shell boat and they pulled upstream, up the river, until they got to Odon's house. Now, Odon lived in a house very much like Philippine jungle houses. It was a house on big legs, high up, off the jungle floor. And there was a tall bamboo ladder that went up to his house. They got there just at sunset. And just as the peacock bird had guessed, he wasn't home. He was out stomping and crushing and mashing everything. So the 5 of them crawled up that bamboo ladder. It took them a while to get those little friends to get up there. And then they followed the peacock bird's plan. The bed bug went and got into his bed. The mosquito went and sat on the back of his rocking chair. The crab went and climbed into his wash basin. Would be like a sink, a big basin filled with water where you would wash your face and hands. The eel went and curled up right by the door, and the peacock bird, she went to the fireplace where all the cool ashes were, and she settled herself down in the ashes. And then they waited. And just close to dawn, they heard Odon coming home, climbing up the ladder, walking in, going to the rocking chair and sitting down. And as soon as he sat there, the mosquito began to fly. And he began smashing and slapping himself. And so he ran to the bed, opened the mosquito netting, closed it, climbed into his bed under the covers. And then the bed bug began. What's biting me? He was all tangled up in the bedclothes, the mosquito netting. He got up, he went and ran to the fireplace. He wanted to get a burning ember so that he could see who it was, who was bothering him. But as soon as he let down, the little peacock bird began to flutter her wings. And the ashes all came up into his, my eyes, and he ran to the wash basin, plunged his face in, and the crab grabbed his nose. My house is haunted! And he ran to the door where the eel had stretched herself out. And as he ran to the door, he slipped on the eel and went crashing, bash, crash, boom, boom, down the ladder, thud on the ground. He got up and he ran, and he was never seen again. So remember that if you get together with your good friends, even if you're small, you can overcome and beat the bully.